Hi guys, Namaskar. I hope you all are well and safe. And this is the second part of the video. This is part 2 of How Not to Worry. And I hope you liked the first video in which I have covered the first 3-4 chapters of this book, The Dale Carnegie, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. So this is as I already told in my first video, this book has like hugely transformed my life. So I decided to share the main tricks with you so that you can implement it in your life. Believe me, I have shared these tricks with thousands of my patients and they have benefited very hugely. So today we are moving to the second segment, and the second segment comprises of 3 chapters. The first one is living in a day-tight compartment. This is a very transformational concept for anyone who is ready to implement it. We are always burdened by our accumulated yesterday and our fearful tomorrows. So our energy is being dissipated there. So what if we bring that energy into the present moment, into today? We think of only today, like we put in our baggage that I have to think only of today. Today is all that matters. If we develop this kind of mindset, uh, we can clearly focus with enthusiasm of at the work at hand. We can show all our enthusiasm, all our energy for the work today, and that is what it matters, because today is the only reality. But then people will question, if I think only of today, if I do not think of tomorrow or plan of tomorrow, how will what is the meaning of planning and vision and all that? Actually, the slight trick is that if you focus on today, if you do your work today properly, that will automatically carve in a beautiful tomorrow for you, because you can only think of tomorrow, but what you can actually do is you can do today. So little bit of planning is okay, but wasting your energy in the past and future is the most, preventable cause of worry that is happening to all of us. So decide that I'll go by one day at a time. See, spending one day, however worried you are, however problematic your life is, you can spend your today properly. That is not at all difficult. If you're feeling that your whole life is being too difficult, try spending just one day with focus and peace. And then gradually, when you start mastering a day, you start mastering all your days and your entire life. But the trick is to focus only on the present, and not just keeping worrying about the future or being guilty about the past. All this will take you nowhere. So this is what is described in this chapter in a very vivid way. These are a few lines that I would like to read out to you. Shut the iron doors on the past and future and live in the daylight compartments. Ask yourself, why not ask yourself these questions and write down the answers? Just there are a few questions that I am going to read down to you. Uh, do I tend to put off living in the present in order to worry about the future, or earn for some magical rose garden over the horizon? Do I sometimes embitter the present by regretting things happened in the past that are over and done with? Do I get up in the morning, or do I get up in the morning determined to seize the day to get the utmost out of this 24 hours? This should be a goal. And can I get more out of life by living in day tight compartments? And when shall I start to live in day tight compartment? Next week, tomorrow, or today? So try to implement all these 3-4 lines. The essence of which is, every day brings a choice to practice stress or to practice peace. The choice is yours, and you are choosing every moment of your life how you want to be. So this is my best chapter of the entire book. If you follow this one rule, your worry is going to go down by almost 80-90%. Just try practicing it and let me know in the comments if it has helped you. Now the next chapter in this section is a magic formula. Everybody loves magic formulas. We need magic for transforming all our life. We don't want to do any work. But the real magic lies in small, small concepts and applying them in life. So I'll tell you three questions, and if you can apply it, you will get out of any stressful situation in a very promising way. So first step is analyze the situation fearlessly and honestly and figure out what was the worst that could possibly happen as a result of this failure. Question first. Then question 2, after figuring out what was the worst that could happen possibly, I reconciled myself to accepting it if necessary. So in the step 2, actually you are figuring out what worst can happen and you are mentally accepting it. And then coming to step 3 is calmly devoting the time and energy to trying to improve upon the worst which I had already accepted mentally. So so these three steps, if you can apply to any situation, you can get out of worry in a promising way. I'll share you one example from my life where I applied all these three steps and the results were awesome. The first, when I was working, and I'm keeping the names anonymous here, the names of the places anonymous here. When I was working for my bond in a place where people were not that cooperative to me, and there were several reasons why they had harbored anger and jealousy for me, and they were not allowing me to work in a very peaceful environment. So my bond period was going to end, but the college required me to extend me for some days because of the exams of the final year. So they had requested me to extend, and they assured me that if you extend after that certain period of time of your extension, whenever you want, we will relieve you without imposing any monetary foundations on you. Suppose to relieve from one place, you either require to pay 1 month salary, or you need to give 1 month notice in advance. But I was assured that my bond tenure was over before the exams, and I was assured that you extend for the exams, and we will whenever you want to terminate, we will terminate without applying this rules. They assured me blindly, so I did that for them. To do that, I had to I was already selected at another place of my choice to work on, but because they requested me and also assured me, I dropped that seat. I mean, I did not join there on time, which was just after my bond period, and I relied on these people. I mean, I accepted their request, thinking that whatever they are promising, they will be delivering. But after the exam was over, from the next day, they started behaving in a very odd way, and because their work was done, whatever they wanted from me, they got it. And after that, they didn't behave in a proper way, and they were not allowing me proper leaves to go. I had to take out my original documents from another place. They didn't allow me to go, and also for terminating my bond, terminating my period, they asked me either you pay or you give 1 month notice, which was not possible for me, because if I would have given 1 month notice, my other interviews were in that month, and they were also not allowing me leaves during that month to give other interviews, and it was very clear in my mind that I did not want to stay at that place because of various reasons, and also because of my career growth was not there in that place. So that mounted up a very stressful situation. Mounted up, I didn't know what to do. They were not at all cooperating. It was pandemic, it was lockdown, everywhere there was bad news, and I was so stuck. I was so stuck, so depressed. I feel so helpless for the first time in my life. And then you all might be thinking, why do you feel helpless in such a career options? You're a doctor, but when you go through the real life struggles of a doctor, you will be just astonished and amazed how much they have to face. And career is one of the most important facet of a life of a doctor. So yes, it can be ignored at any cost. And so that time I was so worried. But then I was going through this book for help, and I came across this chapter, and I came across these three steps. What is the first step? Analyze the situation fearlessly and honestly and figure out what was the worst that could have possibly happened. So I analyzed, and I realized that I am going to go to give the interviews even if they are not allowing me leaves. At best, at worst, what will happen? I might sit jobless for some months. And I thought, okay, this is the worst that can happen. It is not the worst, many more worse things to happen to people. Even if I sit for jobless to 2 to 3 months, it's nothing to worry. I have my family for backup and all that. So this was the worst that could happen. Another worst what could happen is they will say me some things, or they will they might ask me to pay and all that. So I decided, yes, this much of amount of money might get lost, and I might end up in sitting at home for 2 3 months. But that is the worst that could have happened if I uh, if this situation is not handled properly. So that happened. I accepted completely ki these are the worst outcomes, this can happen, and I am ready for it. After that, after accepting it completely, then the next step, I figured out what was the worst what could happen, and I reconciled myself to accepting. First is analyzing and knowing, and the second one is accepting. I accepted completely. The third step is I devoted my time, energy, and trying to improve upon the worst which I had already accepted mentally. Now that I have already accepted the worst, I started to devote my time and energy how to get out of the situation. So I just started every whole night. I used to search for new jobs, for new interviews, for new things. And one day I came across the interview of my parent institute, and then so I planned how to go with it. I requested one of my friends to drop me there because it was lockdown, and it was like no means was there to cross states. So that got arranged. I had to arrange so many things, but now I was not worrying. I was working upon that thing. So finally, I gave an interview in a very nice institution where I am working currently, and that was my parent institute also. And in 2 3 days, I got to know that I am gonna crack it. So I went back silently to that place. I did not crack this news to anyone. I silently worked there for 14 days. I gave my notice. I requested a few people whom I did not even want to talk, but still I requested them. And then my notice was issued, and then I got relieved in a proper time, and I could join my next job. I was selected for my next job, and not a single day was gonna be wasted. Though I gave myself the gift of relaxing for 15 days, but I got selected in a manner that not a single day was getting wasted. So I handled the situation so beautifully. I was like proud of it. And then after coming to the next place, I just blocked those negative people who were bringing up a problematic behavior with me. So now, because of the accepting what worst could have happened, I had already accepted that this I might sit jobless. So after that, I could easily work and plan and energize. Of course, a lot of people helped me, and a lot of people troubled me also, and a lot of people helped me also. So, but I could, in a very less manner, I could plan it and I could execute it because I had accepted the worst outcome. So, try putting these 3 steps in any of the worrisome situation and see what solutions you can come up to. So that's it. And the third chapter here is, the third chapter is something that we all know. It's like, it is what worry can do to us. Worry can do all the health problems that you know, all of them, worry can do it. Starting from tooth decay to stomach ulcers to hair fall to skin pigmentation to pimples to bad stomach to body aches to sleepless nights, everything. Worry can cause all types of, health problems, whatever health problems you can think of can be caused by worry. So this is the second segment, and this second segment has like inspired me a lot. I have applied it a lot in my life, and also I have recommended it to my patients. Do try to apply it and let me know how it works. So just reminding you, live in a daytime compartment, try to accept the worst scenarios, and then calmly work upon how to improve it. And then third, acknowledge what worry can cause to you. Obviously, imagine you don't want your hair falling, you don't want your skin getting pigmented or getting pimples, you don't want your stomach getting upset, you don't want your body to ache, or you don't want sleepless nights. So if you don't want all these things, you have to prevent worrying, and there are ways. The funniest part is that large amount of population in the earth is suffering from things that are preventable, and worry is one biggest of them. So do apply this and let me know how it helped you. Thank you.